Now, realistically, we got 3 different types of people at the gym, 3 different types of belts that they're gonna be wearing. Number 1, we got this one. If you wear this type of belt, thick in the back, thin in the front, you're probably a high schooler, you're first starting to lift, and you believe anything that Sebum or Sam Sulek are gonna be saying on social media. But you know what? We're all young and dumb at one point. Eventually, you'll grow up, you'll mature, and you'll go ahead and move from this belt over to this belt. Now this one, nice and thick, all the way across. If you're wearing these type of belts right here, you have a respectable amount of muscle mass already built up, and you have a decent amount of strength to go along with it. Personally, my favorite. And the third type of belt are gonna be those elastic kind, which honestly, the only people I ever see those are either those who are trying to hold their gut in or those who are warehouse workers. What's up everyone, David here, and got a new video for y'all today. But before we get into it, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any new videos. Because remember, new videos on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so don't miss out. Now for today's video, we're gonna be going over supportive gear, specifically the weightlifting belts. Now I know many of you have seen others wear it when they're working out in the gym, and I know many of you are probably starting to wear one right now, or you're thinking about investing some money and getting yourself your own. But before you actually do that, you need to know the how, the why, and the when it comes to wearing these bad boys right here. And that's what we're gonna be going over today. So before we start, I just wanna tell a quick story of when I first started getting these belts and started utilizing them in my training. When I first started lifting, right around middle school, going into high school, I wasn't working out using any weightlifting belts. Everything was just, body weight, flexing the abs, nothing crazy. But eventually, once I started going into high school, started to do my research on YouTube. And by research, I mean, I saw an influencer wear a belt, got curious, got one myself, and I started throwing it on when I'm doing my lifts. I started seeing more results, or at least I thought I was seeing more results. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I went ahead and got this one. Got it from Big Five, not a big deal. I think it was like 20, 25 bucks at the time. And with these, I feel like it's the kind that many of you first get when you're first starting lifting. Like I said, I usually call it the high schooler belt because that's usually who I ever see wear it. It's thick in the back, right around 4 inches, but it tapers off. Once you get to the front, you see this part right here is a lot thinner than back here. And there's nothing wrong with this belt. You can definitely get good results out of using this. And for sure, it has its time and place. But me personally, eventually I grew out of this one and I started going with this belt instead. So what makes this one different and much better, in my opinion, is it's actually the same thickness all the way around. Like you see right here, it doesn't taper off to the front. And not only the thickness from the side, but actually the layer of leather right here. I mean, we're comparing how thick this one is compared to how thick this one is. There's definitely a huge difference. Now, when and why would you get any of these? Well, if you're thinking about either lifting a little heavier or you're thinking about taking your training up to the next level, then yeah, that's when you'll go ahead and start investing some money in these belts. How much do they cost? Like I said, this one, roughly $20, $25, depending on where you go. This one is definitely gonna cost a lot more. It's gonna be more expensive. I got fortunate enough, I actually bought this one at a swap meet for 10 bucks. I bought it used, but that doesn't matter. It still does the job. And years later, it's still holding up. Look at it, I even customized it. It says Defiance. Don't do what other people are telling you. Be defiant. But anyways, so why, how, and when would we actually be using weightlifting belts? That's the most important thing. Y'all need to know this before you actually decide whether you want to throw these on or not. So let's start off with the why. Why would you need to use a weightlifting belt? Here's why. You're going to be needing it if you need some help or you want to build on top of that intra-abdominal pressure. That's ultimately what the belt is for, is to help build up with that intra-abdominal pressure. What does that mean? It means the support that your core is giving you when you're lifting heavier weights. Let's put it this way. When we work out, what do we do? Let's just say we're doing a squat. Most people think it's a leg exercise, but eventually if you start going heavier and heavier, what else do you need support from? You need support from your core because what's keeping your body, your upper body up. You gotta flex some abs. What we normally call intra-abdominal pressure, realistically, is creating enough tension in this area to help stabilize your upper body. So you're not, just flopping around like this, moving side to side. Stabilize means resisting movements. We want this area to be tense when we lift, so that way we can lift even heavier and we can lift safer. Let's put it this way. From right here up, actually, as a matter of fact, anywhere else in our body, we have plenty of bones to support that portion of the body. I mean, our forearms has 2 bones right here. From right here up, we got our ribs. But this area right here, the abdominal region, realistically doesn't have as much bones. It's just mainly muscle, organs. The only bones that we actually have are gonna be our vertebrae back here. So we need to call on for a little bit more assistance, and that assistance is going to come from the intra-abdominal pressure. So what exactly are we gonna be doing? We're gonna be flexing the abs and making this tense. Think of it like a soda can. When you have a soda can that's unopened and you try to crush it, is it going to crush? No, you could even stand on it and it won't collapse. Why? Because it has all that pressure built up into it. Now, once we open up the can and we let out all the pressure, what happens if we try standing on it? Boom, it's going to be crushed. Now, that's the exact same analogy that I want to use for this region. Imagine when we're squatting or we're just lifting heavy in general, and imagine we have all that pressure built up right here. It's going to be strong, right? Okay, now imagine if we don't have all that pressure right here, it's going to be weaker, obviously. But eventually, you're going to get to the point where just breathing and bracing on your own right here. And by the way, we'll get to what breathing and bracing is in a bit. But once we actually breathe and brace right here, there's only so much you can rely on. If you start becoming a higher level athlete, you start lifting even heavier, sooner or later, it wouldn't be a bad idea to start relying on one of these. So that's exactly what it's for. It's just meant to give you a little bit more assistance with breathing and bracing when it comes to the heavier lifts. Now, is it absolutely necessary? No, you can still lift heavy and do it in a safe manner without the use of this, but it's a matter of knowing how to do it correctly. And that's gonna lead us to actually, how do you breathe and brace? So I keep using that term, but what do we mean? Breathe in, brace. So we wanna build up that pressure. We wanna turn this region into a soda can. So what are we gonna do? Most people, when they breathe in, let's just say for a squat, what do you see them move? When they breathe in, boom, what did you see? You saw my chest expand. No. That's not what we want. When you breathe in for a big lift, you want to breathe into your stomach, okay? So I like to say, think of it as showing people how fat you are. When you breathe into your stomach, what happens? It pops out. I mean, look at me. I'm not fat. I got abs. They don't stick out. I don't have a gut that sticks out. But if I breathe into my stomach, boom, look at that. It sticks out. There's nothing wrong with that. But after you breathe in that air into your stomach, I want you to do part 2. That's the breathing part. Now it's time for the bracing part. I want you to flex those abs as hard as you can. A good way to think about it is, imagine someone's just about to punch you in the stomach and you want to brace for that punch. You want to flex. That's what we're going to be looking for. Now, breathing in, flex. Practice that a couple of times. All right, you can do that with just your body, no assistance from the belt when it comes to any lift. So it's gonna look like this. All right, again, I'm not fat, abs don't stick out, gut doesn't stick out. All right, we're gonna go ahead and breathe into our stomach, and then afterwards brace. So breathe, boom, right there. So again, from the side, it's gonna look like this. Like, breathe into the stomach, and then we got that brace. Now, you're going to hold that breath at the top of the movements. Again, we're gonna keep going on with the squat analogy just because this is the easiest way for me to explain it to y'all. Breathe, brace, and then go into your squat, down, up, and then when you're at the top of the lift, go ahead and breathe out. Hold that breath and keep that bracing throughout the entire lift before you decide to take another breath and before you brace again for the second time. Now, you can do multiple reps with one breath. So breathe, brace, boom. Okay, now breathe out, and then go. So that's gonna depend on you. But as we start going heavier, it might be a little bit harder. Our abs are only so strong. Again, we've got no other support from the bones right there. You may have to throw this on for a little bit more assistance. So when it comes to putting it on, you gotta know now when and how. For the when, and this is where I see so many people go wrong, they wear it throughout the entirety of the workout, even during their warm-up sets, all right? No, you should only be having to rely on this once you start going heavy enough to the point where it will actually benefit you. All right, me personally, I start wearing it right around when I'm hitting a weight of 75 to 80% of my 1 rep max and above. Let me put it to you this way. My PR on squat is 415 pounds. I don't start wearing it until I hit 3 plates, 335, right around that region. My deadlift is 455. I don't start wearing a belt until I hit right around the 400 and above mark. So you see, if I'm hitting less than 400 pounds on a deadlift, I don't need it. You should only be having to rely on this when you're absolutely going heavy. You're getting to those top sets. That's when you will actually throw it on. If you start getting used to this, then you're gonna be relying on it too much. You're never actually gonna build up as much natural core strength as you could. Will you still develop some core strength even with using the belt? Absolutely, because at the end of the day, you're still flexing and bracing that core. But it'll be good from time to time to actually spend some time, training without it before having to rely on this. But regardless, once we actually put it on, we already established it's your top set, 75, 80% or above. Too many people, you see them sucking in their gut so much, they're yanking on it so much, and they just can't breathe. Nah. So I feel like I could get one more hold. Let's get one more notch. No, you're doing it wrong. It's not a corset. You're not using it to hold your gut in, all right? If you actually put it on too tight, how are you actually supposed to get a good breath in? No. Go ahead and loosen up. Like me personally, what I like to do is right here. I like to go on the third hole. So as you can see right here, I got 1, 2, there's gonna be one more hole. Do I have to suck it in a little? Yes, and that's just to get to the prongs through the hole. But once I actually let go, I don't find this uncomfortable. I can wear it. I still got room where I could put my hand in here. You see, it's not that tight. That's exactly what you want. It's still got enough wiggle room. If I need to slide it up, no big deal. If I gotta slide it down, if I need to adjust it, that's fine. But too many people, when they wear it, they're just cranking it nonstop. It's like as if you see those people, that are loading up stuff in their truck and they put the strap over it and they're just winching it, turning it, tightening it up. They feel like they have to do that here. No, go ahead. And you know damn well the belt is too tight is when you're done with your set, they're struggling to take it out. They need assistance from someone else to hold the buckle in place while they put. No, look it. Once I'm done with my set, all I gotta do is boom. You see, it was easy because it wasn't that tight in the first place. You gotta think of it this way. When you throw on the belt, afterwards, what are you gonna be doing? You're still going to breathe and brace. It doesn't matter whether you have the belt on or not. Every set, every rep, you need that core strength right there. You need to stabilize. You need to breathe and brace. So once you have the belt on, and if it's excessively tight, when you take that breath into your stomach, okay, how exactly is your stomach supposed to go any more forward? How much air can you realistically actually take in? If you have a belt that's just keeping you from doing so, it's just so tight. So go ahead and loosen it up just a bit. Measure it out though. Once you have it to a little bit of a looser setting, go ahead and take that breath into your stomach, and you should feel all of this expanding and pressing up into the belt. Now, you're not purposely sticking your gut out as much as you can. No, you're letting the air come in, and it should feel like your sides, your front, this entire region is expanding to the sides. So once you have the belt on, breathe in. Boom, you should even feel your sides pressing up into the sides of the belt. And then from right there, once you get that good deep breath into your belly, brace, flex. Think of it like someone's punching you. Flex those abs, brace. That's gonna give you all the support that you're gonna need. And then hold it throughout the duration of your lift, complete the rep before you go ahead and take on the next repetition. So that pretty much covers the how, the why, and the when it comes to using a weightlifting belt. Now, like I said, is it absolutely necessary? No, but if you start lifting heavier weights, you want to get a little bit more competitive, or you just want to push your workouts to the next level, you're going to need every little bit of help that you can get. That's where you'll start throwing these. But again, you do not need it, all right? It's not absolutely necessary. Go ahead and brace without it. Breathe into your stomach, brace, boom, complete the reps. Again, we have our natural ability to breathe and brace. This is just more of an added tool that we can use to our disposal. Think of this as like protein powder and our body as our normal diet. Yeah, we have our normal diet, steak, chicken, eggs, fish, our natural sources of protein. But if we need a little bit more assistance meeting our protein goals throughout the day, that's when. But if we need a little bit more assistance to get our protein goals in throughout the day, then yeah, that's when we'll start relying on a little bit of protein powder just to get a little bit more protein in throughout the day. Same thing with the belt. We have our natural ability to breathe and brace and have our stabilization right here when we're doing our lift. But if we start lifting a little heavier and we need a little bit more help, all right, that's when you'll go ahead and throw these on. But do not completely rely on this. Build up your body's natural ability, build up your body's natural strength without the need of all this extra supportive gear. Again, this should be supporting you. It shouldn't be used to help keep your body together. So there you have it, everyone. Hopefully this video was helpful. Comment down below if it was. Comment down below also any other tips or anything else that you think is important that people should know when it comes to using any type of supportive gear, not even a belt. It could be something like wrist wraps, elbow sleeves, knee wraps, anything like that, straps. Comment down below. We'll just try to help each other out. Also, be sure to comment down below any other video suggestions you'd like to see me do, whether it be about mindset, motivation, nutrition, diets, workouts, programs, whatever it is, comment down below. I'd be more than happy to help y'all out. Be sure to subscribe to not just my channel, but my girlfriend's YouTube channel, couple's YouTube channel, so you don't miss out on any new videos. Because remember, new videos every week across the board for all 3 channels. And then for Instagram and TikTok, same thing. Be sure to follow me on my accounts, girlfriend's accounts, couple's accounts. I put all the links down in the description below. That being said, I'll catch y'all next time.